What I want to talk about this night, it will take grace of God for many of you to understand what I want to say this night. I've done one video before. If you have not listened to that video, look at it here. At times, people used to ask me, do I believe in spiritual infertility, like somebody has spiritual husband, or they inflict people with infertility spiritually? I told them that I believe, but see my reservation on this. Out of 100% of people that claim they have spiritual infertility, 80 out of that 100 is not real. You can go to my page, you will see the full length of that video. I said 80% out of 100 women that claim that they have spiritual husband, Oko, do not have their barrenness, their infertility tied to that spiritual husband. But the dream people see it is a fragment of what is happening in the spiritual realm. I'm not a soothsayer and I'm not a herbalist. But what I know from my experience in fertility diagnosis and investigation, when you now talk about spiritual infertility, I still want to reaffirm this to you, that 80% of those women out of 100 who claim they have spiritual husband, or pastor told them that they have spiritual husband, imam or tribalist or herbalist told them that they have spiritual husband, these spiritual husbands are not their problem. Let me tell you this night, you see those spiritual husbands, they are not supposed to be violent. They are not supposed to be devilish. They are not supposed to be evil. In other words, these spiritual husbands, they are supposed to protect those women in the world. They are supposed to guide them. They are supposed to help them. But majority of women who have spiritual husband, they are taking what Yoruba people call a war. That means they are taking what we call what is forbidden for that spiritual husband. That is why those husbands are now tormenting them in the world. I'm not disputing that 20% out of this 100, they are evil. They have a covenant in the spiritual realm that when those women get to the world, they won't get pregnant. They won't have a child because they've already have a child in the spiritual realm. But 80% of them, take it from my own experience, these spiritual husbands, they are not evil. Some of the women that are suffering from spiritual husband, they have their problem tied to the forbidden things, the food, or the activities that they are taking in this world, that they engage in this world, that make those husbands in the spiritual realm to start tormenting them in the world. What is the solution? I've told you in the previous video, you need to move closer to God so that God could reveal to you what is the forbidden things that you engage in this world that make that spiritual husband in the spiritual realm to start tormenting you. You need to go for deliverance so that a connection between you and those spiritual husbands could be cut off. I'm telling you this night, 80% of women that are being tormented by spiritual husband are because they engage in forbidden things, forbidden activities to that spiritual husband. In the real sense of it, those spiritual husbands are supposed not to disturb them. My name is Wojade Kehinde Samuel. I'm the fertility scientist at Tabin's Fertility and Andrology. Till I come your way next time, God is good. Bye.